Love is Blind Season 2. Finding out if you can fall in love without seeing someone and how your relationship would be if you were stuck in a cheap rental apartment for a couple weeks before going down the aisle. Before we get into this video, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. It would mean the world to me. My goal is 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. If you've already subscribed, you're awesome. I appreciate you. Let's get right into it. Love is Blind is Netflix's answer to the Bachelor franchise. It is a totally different show in that you do not get to see the person you're falling in love with until you're already engaged. I watched season 1. I went through all the episodes basically like in a couple days, and 2 couples made it out alive, Amber and Barnett and Lauren and Conrad. They are both still married today. Now Netflix has released the first set of episodes in season 2, and this time they have selected all the participants from Chicago. So that is the first thing I want to say about this show is they don't pull people from all over the place. They pull them from the same city, which I think gives people a better chance of success. Number 2, they do take away a lot of the physical. In The Bachelor and Bachelorette, it is very shallow in terms of appearance and people focusing on appearance. Every girl is skinny. Every guy is for the most part muscular. There's pretty few exceptions. They only recently let black people on that show. I think that Love is Blind's cast is a lot more diverse. Now, it did piss me off how they made it seem like there was going to be more diversity in the characters. If you've seen the episodes, you know what I mean. They really teased like, look at this guy and he's not conventionally attractive and he's part of our show, and look at this woman and she's fuller figured and she's part of our show. But really, those people never form lasting connections. They don't get engaged, so they're not in the later episodes. So like, what are you trying to say, Love is Blind? Are you trying to say that those people, even when you take away the physical, they still can't find love? Like, not only are you like not conventionally attractive, but your personality sucks too? Is that what you're trying to say? Is it? No, in all seriousness, I think in The Bachelor, they don't really even care about who they're putting together. One of the things I've noticed is that they'll cast a whole season of The Bachelor. I don't know why I'm like leaning back. They'll cast a whole season of The Bachelor or Bachelorette and then actually change who the lead is going to be. So I think for like one season, they cast everybody for one particular Bachelor and then that person swapped out. And so really all the contestants were actually people who were picked for a totally different person. So are we surprised when the person who gets engaged, that doesn't last? At least in Love is Blind, you get to see an actual wedding. I do sort of have a problem with like getting down the aisle and like having your whole family there and then someone's like, actually, I don't. Like, that is totally traumatic. If you want to talk about something that would put you off of weddings, it is that. But one of the concerns I have as a viewer is I know that if you're on these shows and you make it fairly far, even to the end, you get a massive Instagram following. And that could be a financial motivation to keep sort of pretending so that you can stay on the show. And that's where we get the are they here for the right reasons or the wrong reasons kind of phrase that they love to throw around in The Bachelor. I do feel like to balance that though, that like the relationships and the feelings are real, and you'd have to be a pretty duplicitous person to fake that and to like lie in bed next to a person and tell them you care about them when you don't. Now, do they feel that they really should get married and engaged? I'm not sure. It looks like they're deeply in love. I'm not 100% sure. And I think it depends on the person too. And so I'm going to get into some of the specifics of the couples, whether I think they can last, what I've observed of their dynamics. And before I do that, let me tell you that I've been married for over 10 years. So, and I love relationships. Like, I love talking about relationships. I love fixing people up. And so this is just my jam. And this is why I'm talking about this. Do I believe that love can be blind? So do I believe that you can fall in love with someone sight unseen? I don't know. I feel like you can fall in love with someone based on who they are. And who they are and what they are causes you to see their appearance in a like you've got the rose-colored glasses on, and they become more attractive because of who they are. Now, what's weird about Love is Blind is they separate those two things out. So for me, when I've fallen in love in the past, the person's not necessarily a supermodel, but as I'm starting to fall in love with who they are, I'm associating that with what they look like, right? So I see this person and I'm like, oh, my brain mentally triggers, that's this person, and I have those memories with them, and they think those things, and they are this type of person. And in Love is Blind, they really separate out what the person looks like from who they are. So when you see them, it's very awkward, because if you don't have that instant spark of physical, I really think that person's attractive, your brain might get confused, because you're like, I have all these positive feelings about the person, but I see them and I don't have these positive feelings about what I'm seeing. And I think we see quite a few couples go through that in this particular show. If you look at the last season, Lauren and Conrad and Amber and Barnett, they really physically hit it off right away. When they were in Mexico, they were all over each other and they were super happy. And we don't see that necessarily with all of these couples. Like, I didn't actually see any real massive physical sparks a la the couples we saw last time who succeeded. Shayna and Natalie. Natalie, girl, you deserve so much better than Shane. Shane, grow up. Stop fishing for compliments. Stop making her compliment you. You need to be secure in yourself. You need to not constantly hear about how great you are or how great your relationship is, and stop gaslighting. Like, he gets so defensive in discussions and arguments, and then he resorts to gaslighting, where he tries to convince Natalie that she should be feeling something else or thinking something different. Like, when he's like, obviously you would brag about a relationship. You don't brag about a purse, but you brag about a relationship. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's not like some, truth, some universal truth. Dude, you need some therapy. You need some work on yourself before you could be in a good relationship, because you've got some problems. You've got some problems. I can see it. I'm not a shrink, but I can tell that you have some problems. Natalie, you are too good for him. You've got your shit together, and you deserve someone who is not so insecure that he will just like have a fight with you about the silliest thing ever and then storm off and not even finish your discussion. I mean, that's totally immature. I'm sorry. It just is. So, I've got to say it's a hard no for whether I think Natalie and Shane will get married. Now, Shayna, I think she would be a better fit for Shane. But I go back to, well, first of all, Shayna has done some shady things that I think she might not be there for the right reasons. Let's just say that. So do I want to see them together? Not necessarily, but it would kind of be like justice if they were together, because they're both kind of shitty in their own ways, and maybe they can go off and work on fixing each other together. Also, Shayna, too much with the lips, being froggy lips. I think take that down a notch. You know what I'm saying? Shayna, dude, I get that you think she is very physically attractive, and she might be a 10 to you, but in terms of who she is not the right girl for you. She had your mom's engagement ring and then went and told somebody else that she liked them. And she's still thinking about that other guy. No, Kyle. You need to find someone who is a better person, basically. Someone who is a better person. And I think you might spend this whole season fighting for her, but it is not worth it, let me tell you. And I don't think you're getting married anyway. In contrast to Shayna, we have Jarrett. In contrast to Shayna, we have Jarrett. And Jarrett, I don't know, I have a soft spot for him. What can I say? He actually had the courage to tell Ivana that he had asked Mallory whether she was interested in marriage or not, and how she would feel if he proposed. To me, that was a huge thing. He said that to her before, he said that to Ivana before he even asked Ivana to marry him. And that is cool, I think that it's forgivable that he asked Mallory what he did, and I'll tell you why. Because I am not the first person that my husband has ever been with. I'm the last, and that's what I want to be, is the last, but he's not the first person, my husband, that I've ever told I love you. That doesn't mean that I don't love him, and I think the way the show is, you were dating everybody at the same time, and you kind of have to accept that premise. The question is she the second choice? And really only he can answer that, right? Like, he still wanted to go ahead and marry her. So you saying that he's settling? I don't know. I could actually see him with Mallory, and I could see him with Ivana. I think that him and Ivana have a lot in common. They have, you know, there's a good chance. There is a good chance that they'll be together at the end of this. What can I say? But there's also a chance that, you know, he flies off into the sunset with Mallory. Now, Salary or Mal and Sal, I don't know. Sal, you're a bit insecure. I think, yes, it was also kind of shitty of Mallory to talk to Jarrett for that long. My interpretation of that was like they were at the beach club and they were talking to each other, and it was feeding their egos. Like Mallory loved seeing that Jarrett was still kind of interested in her, and Jarrett loved making Mallory feel like she really made the wrong choice. It fed both of their egos, and they really didn't give up what their partners thought about that. And that was shitty on both their parts. I think both Ivana and Sal need to, oh sorry, Ayana and Sal need to give them shit and need to tell them, listen, I don't want to see any more of that in the future. Danielle, Nick, you are a good person, but I think Danielle is very insecure, and I'm not sure if they're going to make it because of that. I feel like it was totally unreasonable that she got upset at Nick for being at that party and thinking that he was like walking off with someone. It does not seem like that's in Nick's character. And I think part of the reason why she got so upset, A, is her insecurity, but also how quick they are together. Like, it's not normal to be forced to go to a cocktail party with a bunch of people you previously dated, okay? So that situation is created by the show, and it is done to create tension, but he should be able to go there and come back without you freaking out. I'm not sure if they're going to make it just because they seem to have some issues working through these topics. It seems to lead to blow up. So I'm going to say maybe they'll make it, maybe not. I'm not 100% sure on them, which is sad because I really like them as a couple. Shake and Deepti. Deepti, I think you're a saint for putting up with Shake and how shallow he is. I think that it's possible his shallowness could torpedo your relationship. I think I see what Deepti sees in him because he is trying to reflect and he is trying to grow. I don't know if he'll make the right decision and choose Deepti. I hope he does. There's a chance he won't. He needs to work through that stupid shallowness. Like, I see it so often with my male friends who think that the most important thing is to be with this like human version of a blow up sex doll, and I don't get it. Like, who cares really, like what their breast size is or what their waist looks like? And you know, all this shallow stuff, like, grow up. One of the things I do like is that these people are mostly in their 30s or very late 20s. So I think that does lead to some more maturity and readiness to commit. But, you know, Shake, if you give up Deepti, you are stupid. You are a fool. You are a fool because she is probably too good for you. And she sounds like she'll be an amazing partner. And she has so many things that I think, you know, would make her a great match for him. That is it for my chat about Love is Blind Season 2. I'm going to do another one of these videos once the next set of episodes come up, so you look out for that next week if you enjoyed this one. Tell me, what did you think about Love is Blind Season 2? Which couples are going to make it? Which couples aren't going to make it? Put your bets down below. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. This is Ashley saying bye-bye. Was that creepy? Bye-bye. It's awkward to wave to a camera.